Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to learn how to create this responsive offer section inside of Bubble using Flexbox. It is a different approach that we are going to learn today. Let's go over to the Bubble editor and let's get started with a group by placing it on the page and renaming it as well. So I'll rename it as sales, uh, product sales product sales, and the container layout will be as usual, which is column. And I'm going to uncheck this because it will be taking the entire width of the page. And we do need another group, so min width and min height will stay for now. So now let's go ahead and place in another group and going back to the previous group and clearing out the min width and min height of it. And over to group Q, which is inside of the previous group, which is product sales. So let's go ahead and rename this to group inner sales group or inner product sales. And let's go over to layout and switch this to row and space around, centralize it and unchecking because unchecking the make this element fixed width because it'll be taking the entire page as usual. And now again we'll be coming back to min width and min height to clear the values. So let's go ahead and place in another group. But before that, this group will be nice and centralized because this group will be carrying the other essential important groups which will contain the content for this group. So we want to centralize it by giving 50 pixels on all four sides. So I'm just going to allot 50 pixels uh, to top, bottom, left, and right. So that is sorted out. So the next thing that we need is a repeating group. So just going to click on repeating group and dropping it inside the second group. So revealing elements tree. So again renaming it product sales. And again the layout for this will be a column and unchecking because it'll take the entire width and centralizing it as well. Okay. Okay, so going back to appearance, we are going to uncheck set fixed number of rows and unchecking the fixed min width to column. So the width of it will be 420 and the min height of the repeating group will be 0, but for now we'll keep it as it is. So let's go ahead back to the previous script to see if we cleared the values. We have not. Okay, so that is good. So going back to repeating group. Um, so yeah, everything looks good. We'll come back to this value to clear it off after placing another group inside of this group. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to rename it as uh, inner sale product. I'm going to switch to container layout as column and centralizing it as well and unchecking this. So yeah, so now it comes to clearing out the previous group. Okay, so this group is outside the repeating group. Let's go ahead and place it inside and let's go ahead and delete it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and centralize it. So yeah, so the previous group, which is the repeating group, the value should be cleared out. So let's go ahead and do that. So that looks good, and the appearance, this the value of minimum height of row is 0. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start placing in type of content and the data source. So I've created another table or database called sales with image and two text. So that's what I'm going to be drawing in for the value. I'm going to place in the values till now, current sales sale. So that looks good. So after this particular group, after the repeating group, and then we have the main group, which is group inner sales. So we are going to drag in another group, and this group will act as the main group for the image. So I'm going to just rename it to sale sales image, sales image, and I'm going to change the container layout to column and centralize it as well. We don't need the width, so it will be taking up the entire width. So that's good. So now let's go ahead, head back to the appearance and place in the type of content. So yeah, so the data source, parent group sale. So this is the group where we are going to be using the background style. So we are going to remove the default style that you've provided, and here we'll be placing in the dynamic data for the group. So insert dynamic, which is parent group sales image. So that is sorted out. And yeah, so now let's go ahead and place in another group, and this group will have the two text. Uh, as you can see, the 50% sale and the subtitle. So this group will be having that content. Okay, so apparently there are two groups, so let's go ahead and delete one of them. So this group can have sale content, and the container layout as usual. It is column, and centralizing it, unchecking the fixed width because we'll be taking the entire uh, group width. So that is sorted out. And yeah, so now let's go ahead and place into text right here. So now insert dynamic text. Okay, now we have to go in and bring in the type of content, parent group sales. The previous one is sorted. This group is sorted. The text will be the dynamic data, parent group sale, title. And let's go ahead and duplicate this. And for this, it will be subtitle. So over to the layout section, let's go ahead and uncheck this. Let's go ahead and uncheck this as well. And we don't need the minimum width and the minimum height as well. Same goes for title and for minimum width and minimum height to be cleared. Let's go ahead and do some styling before we adjust it uh, to how we want it to look. So let's go ahead and remove the style. So for title, I'm going to add in Laura regular 38 519 F10. And for subtitle, about 614. Okay, so this gray is good. So there's not a lot of space between the title and subtitle. So let's go ahead and give it 10 pixel. That looks good. So over to the parent group of both the title and the subtitle, we wanted to uh, be centralized within this group. So let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and clear the min width. And now in order to centralize this group inside of group sales image, so now what we are going to do is add 10 pixels to both top and bottom of the group, and left will be 50 and right will be 50. That looks good. And over to this group, we don't need the minimum height. So let's go ahead and clear that out. So yeah, so that's sorted out. So now let's go ahead and trace back to see if any of the min width and the min height needs to be cleared out. So that looks good. So this also looks good. So yeah, so let's go ahead and close this tab and let's go ahead and preview it. So let's go ahead and see how we can fix this. So going over to repeating group, as you can see, we still have the style. So let's go ahead and remove that. And let's go ahead and preview it. So the line, the repeating group line is disappeared, which is good. So let's go ahead and see how we can fix uh, the height of these images. So into the bubble editor, let's go ahead and start from the last group and work our way to the top. So this seems fine. Let's go to the previous group, which is group sales image, and this has margin. Okay, so actually the image is taking the height from the margins of this particular image, because this particular group is the image group, and we have given certain pixels or spacing, which is 100 on top, 100 bottom, which is what we are clearly seeing on the preview tab. So let's go ahead and clear this out. And yeah, that is sorted out, but we need to apply those same spacings to the below group, to the child group. So let's go ahead and do that. 50 and 50. Okay, so that looks good. So let's go ahead and see. So that looks good, but we do need a little bit more spacing between both of these images. So let's go ahead to the previous group, to the group sales image, and let's go ahead and add about 10 pixels to each, top, bottom, left, and right. So that looks good. And let's go ahead and preview it. So that looks really, really good. So let's go ahead see how it looks on different screen sizes. So, so there, it looks really good. So on the mobile screen, so yeah, it definitely looks good. So there you go. So this is how you create a sales feature where you have to display two different sale offer for your product, and you want to use repeating group, and you have to display something like this. So this is how you do it inside of Bubble using Flexbox. I hope you learned something from this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.